Hollywood, my lady.
Well, hello, how are you?
I always have a wonderful time, wherever I am, whomever I'm with.
I have known what it is like to be in love.
Hey, Stella!
Wherever there's a fight so hungry people can eat, I'll be there. I'll be everywhere.
Who'd open their minds to the real glories of the human spirit, past and present?
The stuff that dreams are made of.
I've never been so happy in my whole life.
Turner Classic Movies annual Summer Under the Stars is upon us. 24 hours, 31 days, 31 actors, all uncut and commercial free. And joining me right now to discuss this year's lineup is TCM host Alicia Malone. Hello, Alicia.
Hello, Jeff.
Greetings from Las Vegas.
Hi, so nice to talk to you again.
It's so good to talk to you again, too. And first of all, I have to apologize. I was at San Diego Comic-Con. I couldn't make your panel. The scheduling, it was so crazy. So I'm sorry I couldn't make it.
Yeah, it's so hard at Comic-Con. There's so much happening all at once. But I appreciate you thinking of that coming, though. That's great.
So let's talk Summer Under the Stars. And first up is Rita Moreno, who's got an Oscar, a Tony, a Grammy. Finally, she's getting her own day here on Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, that's a really exciting addition this year because Rita Moreno, people might know as Anita from West Side Story, where she won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar, but she had a great career beyond that. She also won an Emmy, a Grammy, and a Tony Award throughout her career. She was a great performer, great singer, great actress, and later on in her career, she was in a film called Carnal Knowledge with Jack Nicholson, which we're playing, as well as playing Singing in the Rain, where she had a featured role in that very iconic musical. But she's, of course, someone who struggled against stereotypes. As an Hispanic actress, she was often stereotyped in these fiery roles or sometimes just playing foreigners, like she once played an Indian exchange student. So she really had to fight for more equal representation on screen. But as Anita in West Side Story, you know, she was a Puerto Rican actress playing a Puerto Rican character, and I know that she remains an inspiring figure for many people.
And probably one of the most unusual movies I've ever seen is The Rich, which she stars in, and I saw it for the first time on Turner Classic Movies. So you're showing it again. It is just so bizarre.
Gosh, I haven't seen that film in such a long time, but that's another example of a movie she made outside of West Side Story that many, many people may not have seen. And that's what I love about Summer Under the Stars, is that you get to really delve into the filmographies of these various stars. And there are so many movies that even I haven't seen before and I get to watch for the first time.
I'm a classic comedy fan. I'm a silent movie fan. And you guys are giving a night for Buster Keaton. I think The General is probably one of the greatest films ever made.
He was such an amazing actor, because when you look at the things that he did, he was like a comedic stuntman. I mean, he was doing all these great stunts himself and had movies with really great messages and were so interesting. I mean, people often think, you know, modern audiences think silent films can be boring, but he's a great example of how they remain so timely, they remain so funny, and I'm still always amazed at what he was able to do with his body. I mean, he's an incredible actor.
And you're also showcasing an entire day for Irene Dunne. If you watch The Awful Truth, it is still one of the most contemporary comedies that still holds up after all these decades. It's just one of my favorite times.
Yeah, I love Irene Dunne when she was with Cary Grant in The Awful Truth and My Favorite Wife. She was such a great counterpart to him, and she had a really interesting career because she played a variety of roles, comedies, dramas. She was on television as well, and she just was always able to bring something extra to her roles. But I think she really matched Cary Grant in those two movies. I agree with you, The Awful Truth, it remains so vibrant and fresh and funny. Those two are so good together, sniping at each other. You also have the dog, Asta, who appeared in the Thin Man series, real name Skippy. I mean, there's so much to love about that film, and I love that we're dedicating a whole day to her work.
And perhaps the greatest movie star of all time is Errol Flynn, a whole day dedicated to all his films, but no Objective Burma, so I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Errol Flynn is an interesting character. He, of course, was born in Australia and then moved to Hollywood and became this swashbuckling, figure. We're playing The Adventures of Robin Hood, which is probably his most famous film. He was always this like very good-looking, charming hero. But if you delve into his stories, I mean, he had a very interesting life. He lived very hard and fast, and there's a lot of crazy stories about the hijinks that he and his friends got up to at the time. And he's someone that, I just went down this whole research rabbit hole with. And I was just reading all these different stories and different biographies, and I had to reel myself back in. But that's what I love about my job at TCM, that I get to really just be nerdy and go to the library and read books about these stars.
And the fall film festival season is upon us. I understand you're heading off to Telluride. I've never been there, but I hear it's just really charming.
Yes, I think it truly is my favorite film festival of all, because it is such a film lover's paradise. At Telluride, not only is it a beautiful place to be, this touristy haven for skiing, but it's of course in the off season. It's in September, but it's this beautiful mountainous village. But also their range of programming is so special. They have such a knack of choosing Oscar-winning films, but they don't announce their programming until you're already there. So they trust that you're going to buy the tickets and know that they're going to program it in a really great way. There are multiple screenings of films, and also the stars and the filmmakers can just walk around freely. There's no press, there's no paparazzi, there's no red carpets, there's no press junkets. They can really relax, and you see stars watching the films of their friends and watching other films besides theirs, and I love that.
Then we have the Toronto International Film Festival right after that, with, I think it's going to have the greatest lineup of films in its history.
Yeah, such an interesting lineup. I'm so intrigued by The Joker coming out towards the end of the year with Joaquin Phoenix. It looks like it could be a very, very different comic book movie. I mean, you have films like The Lighthouse with Robert Eggers' film with Robert Pattinson. I mean, such a range of films, from the big films to the smaller films. That's what TIFF is so great about. They can choose programming from festivals that have already played. So if you haven't seen some films from Sundance or Cannes, you can catch up on those. They also play these really small, interesting films from other countries, and they play these big movies that are likely to get Oscar attention.
Now, Alicia, I have to tell you, I've been hanging out with one of your best friends, with Ma Garrett, and I'm telling you, she's a hoot.
She is my best friend. I know, we knew each other from Sydney, and we became good friends because we're both at a party, and we were both like, where's the food, where's the dance floor? And that's what we cared about. So we became friends, and then she moved over here to LA a couple of years after me, and then I was like, all right, you're going to be my best friend now. And so we've been inseparable ever since.
All right, so I'm talking to Maud over the next few weeks. Give me one secret about her. What can you dish about her?
Oh, yes. I mean, I think you should ask her about her love of pineapple, because this is something that has been very special to her, but something she's had a tragedy over recently. So just ask her about pineapple and see what she says.
She has an obsession with pineapple. All right, that's good to know. Alicia, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always a thrill to talk to you.
Thank you. I always love talking to you, Jeff.
All right, you can catch Summer Under the Stars on Turner Classic Movies. You don't want to miss this. If you're a classic film fan, this is one of the best times of year, next to 31 Days of Oscar. And for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.